Evans Odhiambo KIDERO is not the caliber of politician, or rather is not a project that can unsettle Raila Odinga vote constituency. Welcome to the bold analysis. And that is what I want us to look at, and the political development around Evans KIDERO. Evans KIDERO moved to UDA and Kenya Kwanza, and of course he was picked to be CAS in the Ministry of Trade led by Moses Kuria, but that did not see the light of the day because the court squashed that position. So he was left in the dark. But recently there were cases, some corruption cases that were facing him. But as we speak today, he's a little bit got a relief and a reprieve after KRA asked him, to ensure to have an out-of-court settlement of that case, and it was, I think it was tax case. So KRA allowed out-of-the-court session settlement. With the reports, analysts then coming out clearly that William Ruto is trying to sharpen or trying to ask Evans KIDERO to relocate in Nairobi and at least seek the gubernatorial seat in Nairobi 2027 to be in contention for that seat. I want to tell you, the Nairobi gubernatorial seat in 2027 will be very hot. It will be very hot because Nairobi sits at the fulcrum of transition politics. The person who wants to be governor who wants to be president in 2032 will clearly be in need of this seat. William Ruto needed Sonko and made sure that he planted Sonko as a governor here. And Sonko was his candidate until the breakout, until Sonko had to be pushed away. When William Ruto wanted to be, he wanted to be president, he made sure that in 2017, Kabogo, who was a strong candidate, was pushed out for a lightweight, Ferdinand Waititu. So 2027 Nairobi gubernatorial seat is going to be a very hot seat because that's where transition politics starts. It is here that you need to get how you can do your rallies and how move and really manage transition. And this is thriving at a very hostile environment. Did you know that the current governor of Nairobi, Johnson Sakaja, skipped the devolution conference in Eldoret and was in UK despite of the fact that he knew about this conference all along and was understood was in his diary. And the state later realized that his move to Dubai, not to Dubai, his move to UK was not on some very occasion dealing with governance, but was just making himself, he just made himself unavailable. Recently, during the Mount Kenya tour, Johnson Sakaja, who gathers route from Western, was also missing William Ruto's tour, was also meeting in William Ruto's tour in the Western wing. Of course, that is not so much consequential. The other political development that has happened around Sakaja is he used to have an office, I think around Riverside, with Musalia Mudavadi. I think that place belongs to Musalia Mudavadi. That place was also ransacked, and he was evicted from that office, while there were some investigations that have now been launched around corruption in the city hall. So Sakaja is also a person that is written good books with Rigathi Gachagua. And the reason why Rigathi Gachagua is not in good books with Sakaja is because he sees Sakaja as a candidate for presidency in 2032, or a threat for 2032. And Rigathi Gachagua knows very well that to some extent, Mount Kenya might demand the Nairobi gubernatorial seat in 2027. Things are thick. Now, William Ruto wants to bring Evans KIDERO to checkmate Raila, because Raila is also on crossroads. Raila has openly endorsed Tim Wanyonyi to be the governor, the ODM candidate for governor in Nairobi. And even as he endorses Wanyonyi, Babu Owino is also angling the same position in 2027 and seems to have started lobbying, even in social media. There seems to be some signals that Babu is eyeing the Nairobi gubernatorial seat in 2027. So Raila knows very well that this position is normally a bait for the Luhya vote in Nairobi. And if Raila will be an influential figure and will harbor some stakes in the presidential ambition, whether he will be supporting another person or not, for him to deliver any vote to any candidate of his choice in Nairobi, he might most likely want to give that ticket to Wanyonyi, so that he will actually please the Luhya community in Nairobi. There are quite a number of even MCS that ODM missed out, the other tribes missed out, because they had to be given to Luhya. And give it to all. In Nairobi politics, I think this is where he had maintained the stake because of that politics. Now, if someone like Evans KIDERO is brought in the fold and is brought back from Homa Bay to Nairobi, which is a position he will take, because the likelihood of now the removing Wanga from that seat might not be easy, but will even allow himself to be, to dangle around the Nairobi gubernatorial seat and work on a Ruto project, because after all, maybe he will be in a position to get something if Ruto gets re-election. So it then throws Raila in the fold, in the spanner. Do you think KIDERO can unsettle Raila constituency? Because what will be the understanding here is, if Sakaja is thrown out and KIDERO is given the UDA ticket, then Raila Odinga dangles between Babu and Wanyonyi, or Wanyonyi is given Ford Kenya ticket and Babu is given ODM ticket, then the whole thing is dangled. It's because something happened. William Ruto knew that by getting Sakaja into Nairobi gubernatorial seat, he was going to take charge of the city. But that has failed because Sakaja got into Nairobi county leadership. But the county assembly, the majority of county assembly is ODM wing. And again, majority of the votes that even Sakaja got from most disgruntled ODM voters who did not want to vote for Igande because they had been denied opportunity to vote for Wanyonyi. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to explain 3 reasons why I want to tell William Ruto right in the face that KIDERO is a weak experiment for Nairobi vote. Number 1, KIDERO has corruption baggage. Having been in the city for long, he was the first governor of the Nairobi county. And even after that, there is a lot of cleansing going on. But one of the tags that even KIDERO has been fighting, since even by the time he was vying for Nairobi governor, was corruption. Was it Bomias, the Nairobi county? So the corruption baggage is one that cannot work against Wanyonyi. In fact, if you ask me, I would ask Raila to ask Babu to go vice still in seek a post, even if governor in Kisumu or still seek that MP seat, and give the governor ticket to Wanyonyi, clean slate. If Ruto makes a blunder of presenting KIDERO, then Wanyonyi will have that seat in the morning. Very clear. I can take Wanyonyi will have that seat. Wanyonyi KIDERO, Wanyonyi will have that seat in the morning. Remember, as an incumbent, Sakaja will not fail to defend his seat. Whether he gets the UDA ticket or ODM ticket, whether he goes independent or another party, Sakaja will most likely will be in the ballot. The only, I've always said, the only first governor to fail to defend his seat was Charity Ngilu. And it was a blunder, but of course he was going to lose. So the corruption baggage do not give Sakaja the clout to checkmate Raila Odinga. Number 2 is the power of consolidating Raila constituency. Even Kalonzo Musyoka can be supported, or let me not go to Kalonzo, let me say this. Raila has managed still to maintain the constituency, even though the government is using all the machineries and the resources to eat into that. But KIDERO seems not to have, because for KIDERO to unsettle and to checkmate Raila, you need to bring everyone. You need to bring all these figures, all these rebels together. The rebels are not even consolidating around KIDERO. And so long as KIDERO is perceived as a person that is fighting Raila Odinga, I don't think he stands the chance to fight it. The power of consolidating the Raila support base, even in Nairobi here, is not there, because where? How? People want, people want to fight through the party. How would KIDERO sneak in? Now, if you look at the UDA constituency in Nairobi are Kikuyus and other, mostly it's Kikuyu, the disgruntled. If you look at Nairobi MCAs and MPs, the ones they have here are Kikuyus. So that constituency will most likely not embrace KIDERO compared to if they have another candidate. No. KIDERO is a failed experiment. Lastly, if he is to seek any seat, he's going to face a lot of trouble and wars because of what I said. Potentially, he can be a presidential candidate in future. And that is not something that the compact majority around William Ruto, regarding Gachagua and the Mount Kenya team, would want. So if KIDERO is brought to Nairobi gubernatorial race, then he shall have been placed at a place where he create more enemies that will bring him down before someone even thinks of using KIDERO to unsettle Raila Odinga. Thank you. Let's meet in the next podcast.